Yesterday we discussed quantifying determiners. Participles will missed a lot of things. And we also began reduced relative clauses, right? We take a relative clause, participles, and we reduce it. We make it small. Okay? One way you can do it is with infinitives. Okay? So we can say, for example, the last monk who leaves should turn the lights off. You can substitute who leaves for to leave. The last monk to leave should turn the lights off. So this is like a reduced relative clause. Okay? So you can do it with infinitive. We discussed passive infinitives. And now, we also did participles. Participle is doing, ing form of the verb. Okay? So you can also substitute the relative clause for the present participle. And you have here 4 cases in which this can happen. Not always, not in any case, right? So if it's a continuous, for example, who's the gentleman that is wearing? It's a continuous, present continuous. So then you can say, who's the gentleman wearing? Waiting. Okay? Jesse, who is working on his project, called me. You can say, Jesse, working on his project, called me. Okay? Here there are some other cases. Take a look. Later you read and study them. Okay. So today we're going to do the same but with a past participle. Okay? So past participle is the verb 3, remember? Done, broken, drunk, etc. So we can substitute a relative clause in the passive voice and with these adjectives. Okay? There's a few more I've seen on another source because I'm following this book. Okay? So maybe not everything is here, but anyways. So mainly in the passive voice, you'll see. Okay? Remember the passive voice? I think we just discussed this maybe very long ago. Huh? When the action, later we can focus again on passive voice, but okay, wait, a new one. Passive voice, in simple terms, we have to use the verb to be. We need be plus the past participle. Okay? So for example, I was seen by the cat. Okay? So this I here technically is the object because it's receiving the action. And actually the cat is doing the action. So here a little bit like in Pali, remembers how do we call it? Kamma vachaka. Vachaka? Okay. Not kamma vacha? Sunat, no? Okay. So I was seen here is a passive, you see? The passive, okay? So when we have a relative clause with the passive, we can remove the relative pronoun and the helping verb be. Okay? And reduce it. So the dwelling, the vihara, that was covered in snow is now available. Okay? This is our relative clause over here, right? That was covered in snow. This is our relative clause. So it's a passive, right? You see? The relative pronoun is here. Okay? That was covered in snow. So you can just remove it, reduce it to the dwelling covered in snow. You see? So this single word is like a reduced relative clause. Right? It's quite similar to the present participle, but here it's a little different because it's a passive. Okay? Mr. Jacob, who was appointed president, just called. Mr. Jacob, appointed president, just called. He was appointed, passive. Appointed, was appointed. Passive can be in the present, can be in the past, can be many tenses, right? Yes. So this is the basic. With the passive, you can simplify it in this way, you see? Okay? You remove the relative pronoun and the verb to be. Okay? You just keep the past participle. Then you have the reduced relative clause. Okay? Now, with the adjectives available and possible, these are all the seats that are available now. You see, this is like a reduced, like a relative clause. These are all the seats. The seats, here you're adding some information, that are available. You see, this is not really passive. Are available is just verb to be and an adjective, right? It's not the passive. Okay? They are available, so you can just simplify it with this. These are all the seats available. These are all the seats available. This is actually not a past participle, no? Okay? It's just a way you can reduce it. Technically, maybe it's not even under past participle, I think. The vacation period is the only time that is possible. For example, we want to know if it's possible or not to do something. So the vacation period is the only time possible. You see? You can directly say possible. The only time possible instead of the only time that is possible. Okay? So you're reducing this, you see?
Because it is adjective, not a verb.
Yes, this is an adjective. So technically not really here, right? Maybe it's a new section, right? But here it was under this topic. So I put it like here, but maybe it's like a new section like this. Like this, no? Looks like different from past participle, right? Okay. So I just put a few examples. This is it. So past participles and adjectives. We saw two more ways you can reduce relative clauses. Okay?